Wait, did the internet just collapse, or did the world's most untouchable power couple finally hit the self-destruct button? 1 minute, they're the blueprint, the fashion icons, the parental goals, a crew that nobody could touch. The next minute, the timeline is a literal war zone. Reports are flying in faster than a Fenty drop, and guys, this isn't just your typical, they unfollowed each other, We are talking about a full-scale nuclear meltdown. Is Rihanna, the billionaire mogul who built an empire on not caring, actually breaking down behind closed doors? Are the whispers of ASAP Rocky's late-night betrayals finally backed by receipts that even $1 million PR team can't scrub? And the biggest question that has everyone paralyzed, did she really just walk into a Los Angeles law firm to file for full custody of RZA and Riot? Tonight, the diamond isn't just cracked, it's shattered. We've spent the last 48 hours digging through the deleted posts, the parody leaks that feel way too real, and the courtroom sightings that the mainstream media is too scared to touch. Buckle up, because the story you think you know is just the tip of a very messy iceberg. This isn't just gossip, this is the end of an era. Or is it? Let's get into it. Look at the screen and tell me if you see what I see, because the image of the perfect family just got dragged through the mud and honestly it looks like it is never coming clean. We all saw the Met Gala footage from 2026 where they looked like royalty, but the second the cameras stopped flashing the real show began. You have to understand that in the world of high-stakes celebrity branding, a smile is usually just a mask for a legal battle that has been brewing for months. The rumor started as a whisper on a random parody account, but when you see Rihanna walking into a high-rise building in downtown Los Angeles clutching a folder that looks suspiciously like a custody filing, you start to realize that where there is smoke there is a massive billion-dollar forest fire. The scandal didn't just pop out of nowhere though, because if you have been paying attention to the way Rocky has been moving lately, the red flags have been waving since early April. While Rihanna was busy running a global empire and making sure the Fendi line stayed at the top of the charts, Rocky was reportedly spotted at a private lounge in Soho with a woman who looks nothing like the mother of his children. We are talking about anonymous sources claiming that there are photos of him leaving through a back exit at 3 in the morning looking like a man who just got caught doing something he was never supposed to do. Now let us talk about the history here, because this isn't the first time Rocky has been linked to bad decisions. Between the legal drama with the firearm assault case that has been dragging him through the courts for years and his reputation for being a bit too friendly with the fashion elite, the public was already on edge. People are calling him the luckiest man on earth for landing a billionaire queen, but it seems like he might have pushed his luck too far this time. The internet is currently flooded with leaked screenshots that claim to be DMs between Rocky and a high-profile influencer who has been chasing clout since 2025. These messages describe secret meetups in London and Paris while Rihanna was at home with the kids. Can you imagine the level of audacity required to play a woman like Rihanna? We are talking about someone who literally has a net worth that could buy a small country, and yet she is being treated like a backup option. The phrases being thrown around on Twitter right now are brutal, with fans calling for Rocky to be exiled from the industry entirely. But the real kicker is the breakdown. Eyewitnesses at a recording studio in New York claim they heard Rihanna screaming into her phone about loyalty and respect before storming out in tears. This is the woman who is known for being cold as ice and unbothered by everything, so for her to be losing it in public means the betrayal went deeper than just a random fling. The investigative findings are getting darker by the hour as private investigators hired by anonymous parties are claiming that there is a secret bank account Rocky has been using to fund a lifestyle that Rihanna doesn't know about. Imagine using your partner's influence to build your own brand only to go behind her back and spend that money on hotel rooms for people who are trying to tear your family down. The corruption in these inner circles is wild, and the public reaction is exactly what you would expect. People are going live on TikTok crying over the end of the relationship, while others are digging through every interview Rocky has ever given to find signs of his infidelity. Remember when he said she was his magic? Well, the magic tricks are over and the only thing left is the harsh light of a courtroom. The rumors are saying that Rihanna has already cut off his access to the private jet and the security detail she pays for, which is basically the celebrity version of being kicked out of the house. The sheer detail in some of these leaked reports is enough to make your head spin. One report claims that a member of the security team found a burner phone in the back of the Sprinter van that started all of this. Inside that phone were supposedly videos that would end Rocky's career in 5 minutes if they ever saw the light of day. We are talking about high-definition proof of him being exactly where he said he wasn't. And look at the timing, because this all exploded right after the Met Gala, which is the biggest night for fashion. It is almost like someone wanted the world to see them at their peak before pulling the rug out from under them. The narrative being pushed right now is that Rihanna is done being the supportive partner and is ready to become the ultimate legal nightmare. She is not just suing for custody because she wants the kids, she is doing it because she allegedly believes that Rocky is no longer a fit influence. The public is divided, with some people saying she is being too harsh and others saying she should take every penny he has left. But when you are dealing with a billion-dollar estate, the lawyers are like sharks, and once they smell blood they do not stop until there is nothing left. As the sun sets on what used to be the most stylish couple in music, the fallout is beginning to reach the executive levels. There are rumors that major brands are already looking to pull their sponsorship deals with Rocky because they do not want to be associated with a cheating scandal that involves the most loved woman in the world. This is the kind of stuff that destroys legacies, and it is all happening in real time. The suspense is killing everyone because every time This brings us to the moment where the public started noticing the shift in her behavior. She was spotted at a park with RZA and Riot, and she looked like she hadn't slept in a week. Her eyes were puffy and she was hiding behind giant sunglasses even though it was cloudy. This isn't just about a breakup anymore, it is about a woman who is fighting for her sanity and her family while the man she trusted is being accused of the ultimate betrayal. The investigators are saying that the custody filing includes a request for supervised visitation only, which is a massive blow to Rocky's reputation as a doting father. If these allegations of his secret life are true, then he has effectively nuked his own future for the sake of a few nights of fun. The internet is already calling it the fumble of the century, and honestly it is hard to argue with that. Who fumbles Rihanna? Who looks at a billionaire goddess who is the mother of your children and thinks that an OnlyFans model is a better option? It is absolute madness, and the deeper we go the more we realize that the drama is only just getting started, because the next phase of this scandal is the financial records are where the paper trail turns into a mountain of evidence that even the best lawyers in the world would struggle to climb, because when you start looking at the flow of cash you start seeing the true nature of the betrayal. Sources close to the accounting team at Fenty have allegedly leaked information suggesting that Rocky had been using corporate credit lines for personal expenses that had absolutely nothing to do with music or fashion, and we are talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on luxury villas in the south of France during weeks when he was supposed to be in the studio. Imagine the level of coldness it takes to swipe a card linked to your partner's empire while you are hosting parties for people who are actively posting shady captions about your relationship on their private stories. The corruption here isn't just about money though, it is about the abuse of power and the way he supposedly manipulated the system to keep his double life a secret from the woman who literally gave him the platform to be a global icon. Public reaction has shifted from shock to pure rage as the legal teams are now moving into a phase of the investigation that focuses on the domestic environment, and this is where things get truly dark for Rocky's future as a father. Rumors are circulating that Rihanna's lawyers have obtained doorbell camera footage and nanny testimonials that paint a picture of a home life that was far from the aesthetic perfection we see on Instagram. We are talking about allegations of Rocky disappearing for days at a time without checking in on the kids and showing up at odd hours in a state that was described as less than professional. If these leaked reports are even 20% true, it gives Rihanna all the ammunition she needs to ensure that the custody filing is a slam dunk. The public is already visualizing the courtroom scene where these videos are played, and the tension is building to a breaking point, because this isn't just about who gets the kids on weekends, it is about protecting a billion-dollar legacy from a man who has proven he cannot even protect his own reputation. There are whispers of a government probe into Rocky's business dealings as well, because when you are moving that much money around without clear explanations, the tax authorities start to take an interest. We could be looking at a situation where he loses his family and his freedom in the same year. The irony of the situation is that while Rocky is being buried under a mountain of scandal, Rihanna is reportedly being approached by every major network for an exclusive sit-down interview, but she is refusing to give them the satisfaction. She is playing this like a true mogul by letting the legal documents do the talking for her, and that is making the public even more desperate for information. Every time Let us look at the specific quotes coming from these alleged insiders because they are chilling in their simplicity. One source claimed that Rihanna found a jewelry receipt for a custom diamond necklace that never made it to her neck, and when she asked about it, Rocky reportedly tried to gaslight her into believing it was a gift for his mother that got lost in the mail. But the investigators say they tracked that necklace. As we dig deeper into the consequences of this scandal, we have to talk about the hypothetical resignations of his management team, because there are reports that his top agents have already handed in their notices. They can see the writing on the wall, and they do not want to be the one standing next to him when the final gavel drops. The financial crisis for Rocky is real because his primary source of income is tied to his public image, and right now that image is a flaming wreck at the bottom of a canyon. Meanwhile, the legal actions are intensifying, with Rihanna's team filing for an emergency restraining order that would prevent Rocky from moving any assets until the divorce and custody proceedings are finalized. This is a chess move designed to freeze him out and make sure that not a single cent of Fenty money is used to pay for his defense lawyers. It is a cold, calculated and completely justified response to a year of being played for a fool. The suspense is building because there is a rumored video file that has been sent to several major news outlets that supposedly contains a full confession from one of Rocky's closest associates. This person is allegedly tired of covering up the mess and is ready to burn the whole house down for the sake of a plea deal or a payout. If that video goes public, it will be the final nail in the coffin for ASAP Rocky's career and his life as a celebrity. The public is glued to their screens waiting for the notification that says the footage has leaked. We are talking about a cultural moment that is bigger than any album release or movie premiere, because it involves the fall of a king and the rise of a queen who is done playing nice. The tension in the air is thick enough to cut with a knife, and as we transition into the final part of this exposure, you are going to see exactly how the end of this empire looks when the dust finally settles and the lawyers walk away with everything. This is the part of the story where the truth stops being a rumor and starts being a sentence, because for Rocky there is no coming back from this, and for Rihanna there is only the future she is going to build without him. The countdown has started, and the world is holding its breath to see just how far this fall from grace is going to go. The legal papers are moving through the system with a speed that suggests Rihanna's team has been preparing for this moment long before the public even knew there was a problem. While the internet is busy arguing about van footage and deleted tweets, the actual machinery of $1 billion separation is grinding away behind closed doors, and the details coming out are absolutely chilling. We are talking about a total lockdown of the shared assets that have defined their lifestyle for the last 6 years, and it seems the goal isn't just a breakup, it is a total erasure of Rocky's influence from the Fenty kingdom. The investigative reports are now shifting focus toward the hypothetical resignation of the couple's joint business managers, who allegedly saw the writing on the wall months ago. Sources are claiming that a secret meeting took place in London late last year where Rihanna was presented with a folder of evidence regarding Rocky's extracurricular financial activities, and since then she has been moving like a woman on a mission to reclaim her peace and her fortune. The public backlash is only growing as fans realize that the man who called her his magic was supposedly working a different kind of disappearing act with her trust. Legal actions are being stepped up to a level we rarely see in celebrity cases, because when you have this much equity at stake, every move is a tactical strike. There are rumors of a government probe into the shell companies that were reportedly used to hide the spending of corporate funds, and if the tax authorities get involved, this goes from a messy custody battle to a federal investigation that could leave Rocky with nothing but a legal bill he cannot afford to pay. The consequences of these actions are already being felt in the fashion world, where designers who once clamored to dress Rocky are now quietly distancing themselves to stay in Rihanna's good graces. It is a financial crisis of his own making, and the fallout is reaching a fever pitch as the custody hearing approaches. Imagine the tension in that courtroom when the specific allegations of his neglect and betrayal are read into the record, while the mother of his children sits across from him with a team of lawyers that could buy a small city. This is the part of the story where the glamour of the Met Gala fades away and all that is left is the cold reality of a legal system that does not care about your red carpet aesthetic. The suspense is building around a supposed leaked deposition from a former member of their household staff who claims to have witnessed the exact moment Rihanna found the proof she needed to end it all. According to this anonymous source, it wasn't just one mistress or one mistake, but an entire secret life that Rocky had built under the cover of his music career. The detailed descriptions of late-night phone calls and secret travel arrangements are painting a picture of a man who thought he was smarter than the woman who built a billion-dollar brand from scratch. The public reaction is a mix of heartbreak and pure sarcasm, with people wondering how anyone could fumble a life that perfect for something so cheap. The phrases being used in the media right now are brutal, and they all point to one conclusion, which is that the empire is falling and there is no rebuilding at this time. The financial fallout for Rocky is estimated to be in the tens of millions as his brand deals evaporate and he is forced to face a future where he is no longer the partner of a global icon but a cautionary tale of what happens when you play with fire. As we reach the end of this investigation, the final consequences are coming into focus and they look a lot like a total blackout. Rihanna has reportedly changed her numbers, moved her primary residence to an undisclosed location, and instructed her security to treat Rocky as a trespasser if he shows up without a court order. The custody battle is about to become the most watched legal event of the year, and the stakes are the lives of two innocent children who are caught in the middle of a billionaire's revenge. The corruption within the inner circle has been exposed and the enablers have all fled the scene, leaving Rocky to stand alone against a force he clearly underestimated. This is the moment where the truth stops being a rumor and starts being a lifestyle change for everyone involved. The narrative of the perfect family has been replaced by a story of survival and strength as Rihanna proves once again that she is the only one in control of her destiny. The world is watching and waiting for the final gavel to fall, because when it does, the landscape of celebrity power will never be the same again. The fallout from this scandal will be studied for years as a masterclass in how to dismantle a reputation when the betrayal is this deep. From the leaked reports of secret bank accounts to the eyewitness accounts of public breakdowns, every piece of evidence has built a wall around Rocky that he will never climb over. The tension is at an all-time high because we know that the next move will be the most explosive one yet. Whether it is a surprise court appearance or a sudden release of even more damaging footage, the end is near and it is going to be televised in the most brutal way possible. The billionaire queen has spoken, and her silence was the loudest warning of all. Now that the papers are served and the lines are drawn, the only thing left to do is watch the final collapse of an era that was built on a lie. This is the truth behind the headlines, and it is more devastating than anyone could have imagined. The final conclusion to this saga isn't just about a breakup, it is about the total destruction of a brand that was built on the back of a queen. Rocky is facing a future of legal probes and financial ruin, while Rihanna is already looking toward a horizon that doesn't include his shadow. The open-ended questions are everywhere, like how did he think he would get away with it, and what will the kids think when they grow up and see the receipts of their father's betrayal? The shock factor is still at a 10, and it isn't going down anytime soon, because in the world of Rihanna the revenge is always best served with a side of cold legal reality. So as we wrap up this look into the most explosive celebrity scandal of 2026, remember that even the brightest diamonds can be shattered if you hit them in the right spot. The truth is out and the fallout is just beginning, so stay tuned, because this story is far from over and the next chapter is going to be even more jaw-dropping than the last. Do you think Rocky can ever recover from being the man who lost it all, or is this the final curtain call for his career? Let us know what you think, because the world is definitely talking. Keep your eyes on the headlines and your ears to the ground, because the real truth is always buried a little deeper than they want you to see, and we are the ones who are going to keep digging until there is nothing left to hide. Like and subscribe to stay updated on the most massive exposures in the industry, because we are just getting started with the real story behind the glamour and the lies. So there you have it, the sparkling facade of the crew hasn't just cracked, it has completely disintegrated into a billion-dollar legal battlefield. We've watched the van footage, we've tracked the secret bank accounts, and we've seen the heartbreak in Rihanna's eyes as she prepares to fight for the only thing that matters, her children. This isn't just another celebrity breakup, this is a masterclass in why you never, ever gamble with a queen's loyalty. Rocky thought he was the magic, but he forgot that Rihanna is the one who owns the stage, the lights, and the entire theater. Now the real question falls to you. Is this the ultimate fumble of the century, or is there an even darker secret hiding behind those courtroom doors? Can a man like Rocky ever climb back from the radioactive fallout of betraying the most loved woman on the planet, or is his career officially buried under the weight of these receipts? Drop your theories in the comments, I want to see the heat. Was the magic always a lie? If you want to stay ahead of the next massive exposure before the mainstream media scrubs the truth, you know what to do. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications for Celebrity News Addict. We aren't just watching the storm, we're telling you exactly where the lightning is going to strike next. Stay tuned, because the truth is about to get a whole lot louder.